Many people who bought this book, effective people in the recent past, have given me a very interesting feedback. He said while they enjoyed the book, they found it too huge, in the sense that there are too many pages to read, and nowadays reading habit has become a little less. So one of the advice given to me is that why don't you shorten the book? Well, I'm not going to do that. When you have a lengthier book, you have a choice to read only certain parts of it. My aim of this particular short chat is to help you to get the best out of this book. This book has 16 chapters, of which the first 8 chapters deal with different professions: effective doctors, effective civil servants, effective social workers, effective professors, and so on. You don't have to read all of them. You choose which profession interests you: a doctor, a professor, a social worker, or civil servant. That reduces your entire reading requirement uh, by almost about 30 to 40%. The most important chapter I would recommend you to read is the first chapter, where I have described the concept of effectiveness. Then any one of the remaining 7 chapters you can read, depending on your interest. Chapter 9 to 16 is the most important part. Even if you don't read the first part of the book, in the second part of the book, chapter 9 onwards, talks of some of the qualities to become more effective. For example, the first quality that this particular book starts with is to discover your inner talent. This is a very important beginning. If you want to be effective, because we define effectiveness as using your talent to make a difference in the lives of others. Unless you discover what you are talented and what you want to use, you will not be able to make your talent available to others. So the first chapter is discovering your talent, and that will help you to discover constantly. Discovering talent is not a one-time affair; it's a continuous process. Then the second chapter deals with, once you discover your talent, of course you now conclude that this is what I am talented, but you need to stretch your talent. In this, I have given a very interesting example of a village woman who was able to do a variety of things to discover her own talent. Her objective was not to discover her talent, the objective was to keep on doing so that she can make her own living and educate her children. Uh, if a village woman can do number of things, starting with being a Bhatamistri, to go on to Ayurvedic, to go on to do rice and paddy business, and then later on I think into getting into construction and politics and things like that. So why not any one of us? In fact, the concept of job rotation takes a different kind of a meaning. When you look at job rotation as an opportunity to discover and stretch our talent and so on. The third chapter, that is chapter number 11, deals with the values as core. I think this is based on a lot of research that all effective people are driven by values. And this chapter deals with also, I think, how to be value driven, maintain a good character, and so on. Then the next chapter is, I think, one of the things we found are most effective people are being compassionate, empathizing, and being compassionate, and so on. And the chapter after that deals with, now after having discovered, being compassionate, being value driven, how do you live with purpose? That is where I think focus should come into your life and so on. And once you live with a purpose where you make your talent available to and put to use in the larger society, then your next objective is to reach out to as many as possible. And one of the mechanisms suggested in the 15th chapter is to build institutions. All effective people move from being effective to super effective, and in between, I think, very effective. When you write books, when you share your thoughts, when you disseminate, you share your knowledge to a large number of people. And when you build institutions that symbolize your talent and what you stood for, then you are making your talent available large numbers. Institution building is the way you can spread your talent to many. So that is what the 15th chapter is. And the book closes with the last chapter, which deals with the importance of integrating mind, because I believe that one of the most important things that makes people successful and being effective in any setting is when they look at uh, life with a philosophy, a philosophical outlook where caste distinctions, community distinctions, departmental distinctions, and all kinds of distinctions vanish, and you start treating the humanity at large as one single kind of an objective. This is philosophizing, but I think to some extent this helps you to become a integrating manager, integrating person, integrating human being rather than a divisive kind of a human being. So I have suggested these eight chapters plus introductory chapter and one more. So about 10 chapters. And my main recommendation for those people who want to get the best out of the book is do take the questionnaires that are given at the end. The questionnaires are helpful to you constantly to assess where you stand and to derive the best out of yourself when reading this book. So happy reading for all of you and all the best.